So how I want to do another video about alien disclosure. There's a new documentary out called, I think it's called The Age of Disclosure. I think I have said in the beginning of this year that this is going to be the year of disclosure. And sure enough, it is. Somebody is allowed to come out with this huge documentary, and I think it uses Lou Alejandro, who I have mentioned before in this on this topic, and he is the main person in this documentary. He wrote a book, and maybe that's what they made it about, this book. I also then watched a commentary by Timothy Alberino, and you know very well I do not agree with Alberino on everything. He has good facts, and that's about it. Some of his interpretation I don't agree with, whether they are spiritual, biblical things. Yeah, he wrote a biblical book, but still don't agree with him. Also, his interpretation about the aliens, I don't agree. I very clearly tell you that these aliens are fallen angels and demons, because the graves are very much avatars for demons. He talks in this commentary, Timothy does, about somebody reporting on a crash with an alien spaceship, whatever it was. And yeah, the spaceship crashed and these aliens' graves were laying all over. Yeah, I'm quite sure that they're using these aliens, these graves, right? Trying to get these graves to fly these spacecrafts. I believe the spacecrafts are all created by humans. Of course, with the help of fallen angels. And they're using, of course, these grays to, number one, distract. Number two, it doesn't matter if these grays die, right? They will continue to be demons, and they will just have to find another host. So they're going to create some more of these avatars, grays, bodies for them, and they can enter these again. And I believe that Timothy is still not 100% sure, that these are really fallen angels. I think he still hem-haws around, thinks that they could be from, another age before the flood or before this time started. Like 6,000 years ago when the flood was, there was another, he's calling an antediluvian culture, like Atlantis culture, right? Before the flood, way before the flood. These people survived and continued their technology. Yeah, these beings did survive. They were the fallen angels. That's for sure. And they continued to prepare humankind to again use these technologies, but these technologies really come from the aliens. Oh yeah, we're going to crash a couple of these strange, crafts. So the humans will find it, so the humans have something to go by so they can create their own technology. That's just the way I see it. But nevertheless, the film was good, especially for those people who are still living in denial that these beings exist. And I'm not going to say, aliens or fallen angel beings, okay? Of course, they're aliens, but they're not coming from other planets. They have already done that research. They're interdimensional beings. And these flying objects also have the capability of being interdimensional, or at least using time or defying time. And I think human beings have developed these kinds of technologies, but the government is not telling us. These technologies exist with human beings, and I believe these various flying objects. Well, I was disturbed. So where was I? These aliens being fallen angels, and like this Timothy Alberino, I don't think he is totally convinced. But my research, what I have shown, and even L.A. Marzulli, who I don't 100% agree with either when it comes to the Bible, he also says clearly that these grays, that's what I was also talking about, are avatars for demons. I have a feeling that Alberino is kind of separating himself from the dispensationalists and the Christian Zionists very much lately. He used to go along with them, but I think he is becoming his own, whatever, identity person. But nevertheless, what I'm trying to say about this disclosure is, and he's not coming out exactly saying that either, this disclosure is planned. He is saying there's two factions, one that wants disclosure, one that doesn't. But I'm telling you, the ones that don't want disclosure also are right now opening up this idea, and this is why this Lou Alejandro could make this video, and even why he could write his book. Because these factions that didn't want the disclosure for a long time, okay? These are not the people that have been doing research for, 80 years. Those are not it. Those are not the people that want disclosure and have been wanting disclosure for a long time. No, these are the other side that didn't want a disclosure. They are the one now are allowing, not pushing, but allowing disclosure to a certain point. And this Age of Disclosure, this documentary, really makes that clear. It only opens up so much to the public. Only so much information. They don't go into any detail about how who these aliens are, who they are, where they're from, how long have they been here. Even though the government, the deep state of the government, has been in contact with them, for 80 years. No, they didn't just collect these crafts that crashed, or these maybe bodies supposedly that crashed, right? What, from another planet coming here and then they crashed here on Earth? That is ridiculous. In a little saucer thing? No, I don't believe so. Or even if those little saucers are from the mothership, okay? Let's say they came from the mothership and then they crash on the Earth. No, this is all planned. It's all planned. It's all planned so these people will find these crashes and they can reverse engineer these things. So they get the information, they get the ideas of what they can now develop. Also with these, if they actually retrieve these beings, these grays, and that's all they ever do retrieve is the grays, right? Which are avatars, and they have been working on these avatars, these grays, now for what? Since the 40s? They are biologically created beings. And they make them look like, oh, they're really these Martian people. This all has been a cover-up for 80 years. No, actually longer. Because before the US got involved with these aliens, the Germans were involved with the aliens. So these aliens, these fallen angels, come on, have been involved with humankind for a long time. And of course, Germany had pretty high technology. That's why they wanted to destroy them. England wanted to destroy them because they didn't want Germany to become, more advanced than they are. But see, these aliens already worked with the Germans. They already had technology that was far beyond what human beings can develop. And then, because, Hitler lost, all this technology went to the United States. And one of the projects was Paperclip. Through Paperclip, they brought all these technologies, to the United States. They did not want to find, for this technology to find in the hands of Russia. Of course, Russia also had this technology from the aliens. They worked with the aliens just as well. There's no doubt in my mind. We just don't hear it. I mean, what did we hear in the past 80 years about disclosure, about aliens? They even denied it. Oh, we are denying it. Oh, that doesn't exist. They told people for years this stuff doesn't exist. When we know that the shadow government did know. You know how much money went to this research? In the dark. In the dark. Oh, this money was lost and this money was lost. How did they get it there? For me, that is really unbelievable. And now, some of it is coming out, but only some of it. And I'll tell you right now, they control what they want to disclose. And why are they disclosing stuff now? It's because they will use it someday. They will use it someday. Now there is this thing going about what is it called? Project Bluebeam, right? And some people say, oh yeah, that has to do with a false alien invasion, and it has to do with a false rapture scenario, all these things. I've done a research on that with this, I don't remember his name, a Canadian that wrote about, you guys can figure that out, Canadian that wrote a book about Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam only is saying, that there's the technology that they can actually make people like this hologram technology that they can make people believe anything. They can project like a alien mothership in the sky. People think it's real. They can project anything and we know that technology exists, this hologramic technology. But will they use an alien invasion, false alien invasion? It doesn't matter whether it's false or not. I believe they will be in connection with the aliens. There's no doubt in my mind these aliens are working with the government, and I have said that and have been working with the government forever. So we don't have to talk about a false alien invasion, but they want to make it, look like it's whatever. They have no idea that it's coming, and they're taking these people that were raptured, right? Because they were against progress. This fake alien invasion, let's say invasion of these spiritual beings. Alice Bailey, one of the founders of the New Age movement in 1920, was writing about. That's how far back this was talked about in certain circles. And she was in connection with this spiritual being. Not an alien from somewhere in a planet, no, from a spiritual being, a fallen angel. People, God only created the angels, and from those angels that he created, some fell. Some rebelled. Some were kicked out of heaven in Revelation 12, and they have been here on this earth and have messed up our governments for 2,000 years. And they have been here working, the fallen angels have been working with our governments for 2,000 years. 2,000 years, people. And of course, human beings were not as far developed. I'm looking for my cat. They were not as far developed. They're just starting now to understand these concepts. Before, we lived in the dark ages, in caves. And we're just, starting to grasp things and, develop this technology that, really the technology that's coming from the fallen angels. We're creating AIs, we're creating hybrids. In other words, combination of AI and human beings. We're going to create all these things. And all that stuff is coming from the aliens. But this disclosure has a purpose. And the disclosure is coming from the people that have been hiding it for years, because they didn't think it was necessary for us dummies to know about the aliens. Because guess what? We would have made a connection between the aliens and the fallen angels or the demons. But no, they had to wait a long time so people's mind would be reprogrammed. So we wouldn't think about devil. I don't know if you still remember this movie about Childhood's End. Childhood's End. You should watch it again. I have mentioned it a long time ago. Childhood's End. How they reprogrammed humankind so they wouldn't think that these aliens here are demons or the devil. And what were they? Demons or devils. They didn't have the well-being of humankind in mind. And they're doing the same thing again. They have to wait until humankind is reprogrammed to not jump to the conclusion that these aliens are fallen angels. That's how long they had to wait. Now, humankind, most of them, are ready for that. Even in this movie, and Timothy Alvaruna also brought it up, that some of these so-called Christians who know what kind of Christians, they were saying, oh, these aliens are demons and we shouldn't be meddling with them. So they had to bring this in. They had to discredit some of these Christians that make a connection between these aliens and demons or fallen angels, right? We have to discredit that. And even Timothy Alvarino, who is supposedly Christian, right? And he's saying that, said, oh, these people are bad. And maybe they are. Especially because they are saying, oh no, we shouldn't know, we shouldn't dabble in it, which is true, we should not be dabbling, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be informing ourselves. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with these avatars, because they're demons. With these grays. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with the fallen angels or Lucifer. That's obvious, people. We don't want to have anything to do with them. But do we need to be informed what's going on? Yes. We do need to understand that this is like the days of Noah. I said that in my previous video not too long ago, a couple of videos ago, or was it even the last video I made? No, the one before that. We're living in the days of Noah. And in the days of Noah, this is what the fallen angels did. They messed up humankind, and that is what they're doing now. They're here. They're hiding. They have been hiding. They have been deceiving us. Only Satan is doing that. Only Satan doesn't want to be seen. Remember, again, go to this childhood's end. They were hiding too for a long time. This is exactly what's happening today. They were hiding them a long time until human beings are ready. Human beings are reprogrammed. And see, now they can accept them as, oh, aliens, and where are they from? They're not even telling us at this point. Oh, they could be, there underground, under the ocean now for what? 6,000 years? Hiding in the ocean somewhere? See, this is all coming out slowly. In this documentary, they have not said anything about that, where they're coming from, or no. They were focusing on the flying objects, and they were saying these flying objects cannot be from human beings. And yes, I am saying yes, they can, if these human beings got the technology from the fallen angels. If they have been working with them for a long time, which they have. I just don't want to tell you at this point. They don't want to tell you that there's a deep state government that has been in contact with them, even to the point of our presidents. You don't think our presidents know about it? You don't think they're being briefed, in the beginning about aliens, and they just can't say anything? Oh yeah, it's just some of these simple, what are they? Government officials, senators, and whatever. They just don't know anything about it. They just don't know anything about it, right? I mean, you have to go deeper into the government, right? Shadow government, behind the government, secret, whatever. Does the CIA know? CIA knows maybe certain section of the CIA, right? Years ago we saw this thing about the X-Files, right? I hope you saw it. X-Files. I mean, that is very close to the truth. Very close to the truth. At least that's what I believe. It's not all from aliens. People kept waiting and waiting to see these aliens, and over again there was this cover up and this crossing over to what the government is doing. Same thing. It's hard for us to see what is the government, the deep state government, and what are the true aliens doing. Another program that I used to watch is Stargate. Same thing. How much is the government covering up? Even the military covering up. Has been covering up for years. Even, of course, to the point of covering up aliens that are already here. Or fallen angels, whatever you call them. And can fallen angels appear with a human body? Well, you know what? I would think if angels can, fallen angels can as well. Now, they don't have to have a grotesque body like the Greys. They can appear like human beings. They can probably appear in any form they want. Why do they use these bodies, these Greys? Why they have created them that way? I just think it's also a cover up. Oh, they're just little Martians, right? From another planet. So we can cover up their real identity. Why, again, they're created bodies. People, if you want to watch this documentary called The Age of Disclosure, if you don't have a lot of information about this, it is a good movie to watch. I mean, a good documentary to watch. For me, it was a little redundant, I don't know. It repeated too much all the time, the same thing. And redundant, I think that's how you call it. Repetitive. That's what it's called. Repetitive. And also because I know the subject very well, yeah, it was kind of a little too boring for me. Not boring, but not as informative. I was hoping they would give me more information, but they don't. They kind of wrap things up, what we have known for 80 years. Well, not me, but it's been there for 80 years. And so if you're new to the subject, this was good. It just gives you the bottom line thing. It doesn't go into who these beings are or whatever. No, you're going to have to research that on your own. And I don't think Alberino is the right person to do that. Maybe L.A. Marzulli is a better person. I don't like him as much either. And simply because of where he comes from. He comes from these dispensational people as well. Same group of people that Alberino came from. Tom Horn. I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Horn and Steve Quayle. These people that I know from my past. Okay? From my past. So I know them not very well. I know them. I have read them. There are some of their books. I have watched some of their things. Do some research. It's important. It is important because it's going to be the next deception. The next deception that will go towards either us, our DNA being changed, or them saying, oh, alien invasion, do this and you have to do this and this or else you're going to be picked up. A threat. If you're not conforming, you're going to be picked up. And of course that will be most likely after the rapture. If you know you're raptured, don't worry about it. probably nothing will happen before that. They will put all these things in place. I have said that in my videos before. They will put everything in place. People, I have done numerous videos on this topic. Numerous. They will put these things in place. They will disclose more and more about these aliens, and eventually they will use it. And it's not going to be a false rapture event. No, it's going to be the real rapture event, and they will say it was done by aliens. I'll guarantee you that. And they will say, oh, these aliens just want our best. They want to save the planet. But it will be an alien invasion. I'm coming to an end. People, let the Holy Spirit guide you. I am going to continue to make videos to inform people. At least the ones that are listening to my videos. And I am very, very thankful. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe so you will get notification about my videos. And people, let the Holy Spirit guide you always.